What's up, motherfuckers? We're back. So, you seen in the last video, we figured out these were, fine. Guessing these are probably fine too. Sure. Told Mike I don't have any warranties, so.
Right.
But we're gonna go ahead and put these rings on here. That's not too hard, especially when you got the proper tools. And here is the proper tools. These help out a lot. So, but we got the piston rings right there because it says gapped piston rings. And hopefully they didn't fall out of where they were because they were custom for the cylinders. I don't know who put them over there. I don't think I did that. But anyway. All right, here is the purple block, and yeah, I just went through it with Mike to show you how to put one on. We've done this before on this channel, so go back and look. I'm not going to get too in depth on it, but here is the other side of the piston here. And like I said in the past, it's hard to see on here, but you see this chamfer right there. That is going to go toward the counterweight in the crank. Then you got this narrower chamfer here. That's going to go toward the other rod. And then this arrow on the tip goes to the front of the engine. So this piston's going to sit in there just like this. And here is the wide piece, and here is the narrow chamfer. So that's going to go against this counterweight over here. The other one is against the other side, obviously. And so what we got to do is you build from bottom up with the rings. So you're going to put the two oil rings. Well, what I usually do is I put the corrugated one in first, then I put the bottom and then top. And you're not going to be able to use my fancy schmancy pliers here to do that with, because they'll go right underneath there. So that's not going to work, but they're easy to get on. And then then you're going to put the second ring. It says top on it, so you got to put it so the top is up, where it says top. And then you're going to come with the top ring, which doesn't have. I'm pretty sure, well, maybe I'm not pretty sure, but I think all of them, I think there's some that tell you which way they go up, but this one doesn't matter, apparently, because if you look at the cross section of it, it's the same either way. And then you got to clock them. So here is like a diagram that tells you how to clock. So this is the arrow up this way, and then you're gonna, the oil expander has to be between this range, your top gap on your oil ring here, your bottom oil ring gap here, your top compression ring over here, and your second over there. And once you get those in there, you take this, compress them down, Harbor Freight. If you use it right, it works. And you just take a little mallet, like the handle of a mallet, and just pop it in there till it goes right in. So here's an oil expander ring here. We'll just plop that in that gap. Then you got your little oil rings. These things are always fun because they stick together. Yeah, there's two rings there. We'll put this on the bottom. Just put it just like that. Well, that one wanted to go on top, so we'll leave it there. Yeah, bastard. Alright, now I gotta really work to get this one to go on the bottom here. Gotta pay more attention. There you go. Now they're in there. Now we got our two other rings. I know which is which because top says little top. Can't really read it on a GoPro, so just take my word for it. We're gonna put in our little pliers here. This is easier, man. I do this because you can easily break these things if you're not careful. But this is so much easier. Just get it in that groove. Once you get in the groove in the back part, let go of it. There you go. You are in there. And one of the things I look for is in the gaps, is I make sure that these can go in and out. I push them in and out and I move them. If you feel any resistance at all, pull it out, sand that gap. When I was doing that first one, I had that problem with the top one. I got the top one in there, and when I went to clock it, it didn't want to move. That's the last thing you want to happen. So, but that's in there with top up, and here is the top ring. Look at this, man. It's just so easy. Stick it in here, get it in that groove, you got it in there. Boom. You just ring the piston. And this one here, see?
Another one?
I'm moving it. See, it doesn't want to move, so I'm going to take this one back off, throw some sandpaper on it, and get it taken care of. Like I said, see right there, it's sticking. That is the last thing you want to happen with these things, guys. So, but let me pull this out, get it cleaned up. See that? Wasn't doing that a minute ago. So make sure, yeah, if you're doing this and you got any kind of, it doesn't want to move, fix it, pull it out, sand it off. Don't be shy with the sandpaper. I just use a little bit of 400. That's all. You don't gotta go, you don't gotta take it on and sharpen it on a concrete block or anything. I know a lot of people bitch about this thing from Harbor Freight. I've just learned how to use it, and the funny thing is, every time I use it, I have to learn how to use it again. So that's the fun part about it. Keeps you on your toes. I just put this down here and just crank it up. Not completely tight, because I'm gonna have to do a little bit of adjusting here after I get this pretty much clamped down here, but not all the way. Just enough to where all the rings are starting to go in. So what I'll do is I'll start pushing this down to where the skirts are just coming out, like right there. Okay. And then that way, that will automatically start guiding it into the cylinder. Because I know, like, a lot of people are like, I hate this, Harbor Freight compression ring. But if you use it right, it works good. You got the bearings in there and the cap too. So the arrow's going this way. And like I said, we're gonna get those. Just gotta be careful of that fold over there. I'm gonna push this down. Get those sleeves out there. Boom. Tighten this back up. Now that we got it where we need it. Ugh. Now that I'm recording this is probably going to be a fail, because sometimes the rings like to poke out the side when you're down there, but we'll see what happens here. And then we're just going to start tapping her down. She's going pretty good. There you go. It works pretty good. And if you ever forget how these go on, see, no number, then you got a number. Number goes with number. That's on the rod. And by the way, the bolts on these rods are torqued down like a mother effer for some reason, man. I got to use an impact to get them off. It's ridiculous. I don't know what they did that for.
We can tighten them.
So all we're doing is just snugging these down for now. So go ahead. This is the first time. It's gonna be precious. Now if you feel anything like resisting, what I like to do too with this thing is just kind of tap it so it gets flat on the block surface there, which helps out making sure the rings, because the rings can pop out of the sides of it sometimes. Right. That's the drawback of this thing, but see what moved over like that? Let me all right, so now look around. Is there anything popping out?
Nope, I don't see anything.
I do.
Oh, there's the ring.
See, that happens sometimes. Make sure that arrow's straight on. Here we go again.
Round two.
Oh, go ahead. Did it stop?
Resistant, yep.
Oh.
Go figure.
I didn't see anything coming out of there, so.
I put that resistant and I was like,
Oh yeah, yeah. Sometimes it'll do that too. That's the tricky part because you're right. It does, like I said, it does resist, but sometimes it's got this weird resistance that is just the ring catching in the cylinder. We got a ratchet behind us here because this crank is just getting a little hard to, turn by hand now. There she is.
more.
Yeah, bring her up a little bit. Get a better angle on her. There we go. Since it's a 12-point socket, and this is the only 12-point sockets we got to keep using them back and forth here.
There we go.
Nope. We're gonna get them down. See the gap?
Oh, okay.
I want to seat them. So I just go down until they want to stop right there. Right there.
Now they're set.
All right, there is a fully assembled short block. Just had to torque the rod bolts down. So 40 to 45 foot-pounds. I don't know, is that'll be that or what?
Well, we can probably do the oil pump.
Want to do the oil pump? We'll
Yeah.
figure. Did you buy a high volume?
No.
Okay. Because that would be a problem.
No.
Them things are always an issue. So, but yeah, let's torque these down 40 to 45 foot-pounds. We got the proper tools now. We got that sucker right there. Not Harbor Freight garbage. We'll go 43. Boom.
Now with these, do you go in, out? Or do you go out, in?
That's a good question. I don't know it. I don't really care. We can go out in if you want, or in out. I mean,
Oh, I don't know how to get it.
but I know this a little more torque than you think it is. But there's that one. There's that one. Those are torqued. So we don't forget. Because I've done that. Yeah.
And the gasket?
Yep. Look, now we got the oil pump on. I tell you what, it's a lot easier when you got another person here helping you. Just trying to, put this rod into the hex head and trying to get these bolts in there at the same time you're trying to get the gasket to stay. It's all fun. That was easier, but remember, you want a little bit of play. Not a lot, just a little bit of play in that. We adjusted it, so now we're going to stick this on here. Boom. Little gasket. And then you will have a fully assembled old short block with no oil pan. You forgot to bring it, but not a big deal. We'll get this on. Now we'll just get a little, probably just stick it up in there. It's probably too much. Perfect. Vice Grip Garage says.
Right.
It's probably too much. It's perfect. There you go. He's got a fully operational short block. I tell you what, man, these things right here, if you guys get one of these things brand new, I think that was a Melon, wasn't it?
Yep.
This bull hole is not lined up. It's not drilled properly. So what we did, I ran into this twice now. I got some carbide bits here. This one was perfect. It was just small enough for the hole, and it made it big enough to get the bolt in. So these are at Harbor Freight. We used them to clearance the engine. So yeah, that's the second time I've ran into that. And always do this bolt first. It seems like it goes better when you do this bottom bolt before
Oh,
that
yeah.
top one. But it's all done. It's all done. Yay. Next thing is the oil pan and the heads. Well, cam. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Cam, timing chain.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
all in there.
Yeah. So, anyway, guys. Later.